Deputy Speaker, I am a proud Victorian. I am the proud son of small business owners, and my father, who is in his 70s, runs a small business as a roof plumber and still climbs up multiple-storey roofs and is doing his best to survive in Victoria. In my home seat of Menzies, I recently visited small businesses in my electorate, and I want to tell you what you see when you walk through their door. More often than not, you see a family that wasn't born here. You see a family that is first in, last to leave, pays their staff first and them last, that are struggling under the crippling weight of excessive taxes in Victoria, are paying record energy bills with gas up 26%, electricity up 18%, and when you compound that over many years, I walked into one dry cleaner who said, my gas bill is 6 times what it used to be. 6 times. And in the corner, you'll often see their children doing homework, trying to have a better life. Because that's what small business is about. Small business is about a bet on your family, on your future, and a bet on Australia. And for this government to be bloody-minded about extending the instant asset write-off from $20,000 to $30,000 shows that they are taking small business for granted. And they are taking, in my home state of Victoria, migrant families for granted. And in the last financial year, Victoria was the only state in Australia that saw the growth of small businesses go backwards. In last financial year, we saw a decrease of 7,600 Victorian small businesses. Of course, there's a churn. There's new businesses that come and they fail because they've taken a risk and it didn't work out. But year after year and state after state, there's an aggregate increase, except Victoria. And in that same year, when Victoria lost 7,600 businesses, my friends in Queensland saw theirs grow by 11,000. And one of the things that's happening there is that Victorian small businesses are leaving our state and moving north. And we've seen this movie play out before. We've seen it play out in the early 1990s. And so I say to the Victorian members, and there's a lot of them over there, there's not many over here, you are taking your state and your seats and your communities for granted, and they notice. And they notice. Victorian small business owners are on their knees. They need you, and they need this small increase. It's not much. It's an extra bit of equipment, a second-hand van, a new coffee machine, a folding press. And I want to give an example. I spoke to a small business in my electorate called Fratelli Engineering, a proud Italian family-run business in Box Hill North. And they have employed many people, including people who are learning their trades. They're teaching them, they're taking that risk and taking that bet on them growing their business. And they're not only bearing the brunt of increased costs, increased taxes, but they're trying desperately to compete with the almighty weight of the state and the huge infrastructure costs that come with it. They're trying to compete with people who are earning over $200,000 holding a sign on union construction sites. And they can't. But we know when those construction projects are finished, the small business is gone. It may have gone to Queensland or it may disappear forever. We can't continuously fund Victorian employment through big state construction projects. We can't continuously fund all of the areas we need in the care economy if we're just going to rely on the state to generate employment. Victoria needs you. Victorian small business needs you. And for the migrant families in my electorate, including many from the Chinese community who had an expo on the weekend, and I want to single out Laura Quinn and Aaron Quinn from AusFocus, who ran that on the weekend. I spoke to those small business members, and they feel like they're being taken for granted. Don't be bloody-minded. Stand up for Victorians. Increase the threshold from $20,000 to $30,000. They need it, and they need it in Victoria more than ever.